Hi, today we're going to talk about a product called MailQ, which is NQ Zebraworks digital mail solution. So just like all of the NQ Zebraworks products, we're embedded directly onto the machine. So when I'm making the decision to scan mail, I have it right there on the console for me. And when I walk up to the device, it's going to give me a few different options. If I'm scanning a lot of mail, I can just come over here and choose cover scan, which are just predefined workflows that allow me to put a barcode on top of a stack of paper and have that route wherever wherever it makes sense or wherever you'd like it to route. A couple of other options that you have is right from the device. Just like always, I choose scan. It's going to take me into the two selections that I've chosen for today, or the two workflows rather. The first being MailQ. So I can just come through to MailQ, put in who I want this to go to, and then use categories and tags to help better define that mail. So I'm just going to say that this is a scan. It's not a private scan, so that means any of my delegates are going to be able to see it as well. And I'm just choosing mail. These are all optional things, but just give you a little flexibility, and they're completely firm definable. So you can choose what makes the most sense for your workflows. Once I click next and go scan my document, what will happen is I get the preview of the document directly on the screen. I can scroll through, see if anything needs to be changed, corrected. I can add to the scan from here just by selecting next document or just add to button. But for right now, I'm just going to finish and log out. So now that person has received that scan immediately, and we'll go take a look at that in just a second. The other option that you have is come into scan. If I've already logged out, it'll ask me to either badge in or use a code. But if I'm scanning a bunch of things and I don't necessarily know where I want them to go, where they need to end up eventually, I can come over here to centralized coding. What you'll notice is I don't make any decisions at the device. I simply just choose centralized coding, and this is going to go to the MailQ product. So I'm going to rename this one in this instance. So I'll just come through and let's say I want to give it a different name. It's a complaint. And again, we're just going to finish and log out. So I said the user immediately got that. What that looks like is even though I scanned it and I scanned it to queues, for the end user, it's going to appear in Outlook. So directly over here to the right, we expose our queues software directly as a side panel. Anywhere that Outlook's running, whether it's on your mobile device, whether it's on premise or desktop version, or in 365 as we're looking at today, that user can come through and see the scan, know that they've received it. Anyone who's a delegate for them also gets the same notification. You can tell the data that's been selected on it, who scanned it, what they named it, and so on. And I can pull the document up from here as well. Because the last thing we want to do is have a long drawn out process before I get mail that I'm wanting to receive. It's still being OCR'd in the background, desqueued, cleaned up, processed, everything like this. But for the end user, it's an immediate, basically immediate response to receiving that mail. Now, when we send it to centralized coding, where that's going to go is actually to our MailQ product. And you'll notice there's a folder here called centralized coding. And what this allows me to do is just scan all the mail that I want into one shared queue. Anybody who's a part of that team will receive a notification that there's new mail that someone needs to do something with. So what I mean by that is I can see that it's new mail. I can see no one's done anything with it yet. And I can just, if I want to take a better look at it, pull open the document. I'll get the full preview back at my desk where I can make these decisions. And then I could choose. I say it's a complaint. It's obviously client matter related. If I needed to move it somewhere else or change the owner or something like that, I certainly could. Maybe rename it or retag it, whatever makes the most sense. But in this instance, since it is client matter related, I'm just going to come to route document, and directly from my desktop, I can choose my DMS. Today's purposes, we're using iManage. I come through, it gives me step-by-step instructions of how to get this to iManage. And I'm just going to go to my matters work list. It knows who I am because I'm logged in. Choose the appropriate subfolder, click next. I could rename the description if I want. This will actually mimic whatever your DMS's profile screen would look like. And then I can choose the file format, which can be defaulted as well, and then choose to route. Now, what's cool about this is once I've routed this document, it now lives in iManage. The end user, whether they receive it in their Outlook view or if they receive it within here, would have the direct link to iManage for that document, and then also gets a visual indicator that somebody's already done something with this. So when I'm working with a group of other people, it might be beneficial to know that others have already taken action on it, and then it's been routed over to the DMS. So that's basically it. Digital mail. I can scan to individuals. I can use cover scan when I'm doing bulk mail, or I can just choose to not do any of that and just centralize it all to one particular group and then let them decide the best place for that document to live. So that's digital mail from MailQ Zebraworks. Thanks.